Okay, and welcome back. We're in what should be the fourth part of the stream, and the fourth part of the run here as Sparta in Field of Glory Empires in the Persia DLC. And, well, Persia's being Persia. This is the Rise of Persia DLC. Persia's showing off why Persia can be Persia. Macedonia's kind of also showing off how Macedonia goes and deals with Persia. They're a decent powerhouse. They're maybe not powerhousing yet. I think they're probably still only like tier 2. Only kingdom tier. And to be fair, the explosive expansion that that Macedonia does, I'm not as good doing either. So we'll see if they go off and try to do stuff against Persia. The moment we're at war with Persia, we'd like to get our territories back, and we'd like to take over the Greek holdings of Athens. So we've got an outstanding deal with Persia where we get the Greek holdings from Athens, and we get a peace. That has currently a 0% chance of success. We're just offering it because we can. Our fleet versus the Athenian army fleet, which is army, so it doesn't really fight while at sea. There we go. Oh, interesting. So that's the Persian army. So there's a Persian army defending the Athenian capital. If it's still there when we get there, that's probably a fight we can win. Good old Spartan hoplites. Effectiveness 4, so we got a mineral 4 from that. Some of these guys are actually veterancy 3, which is another +3 on the min roll. So we're rolling like min 7. I don't think the Persian guys are going to be doing the same. Yeah, it's mostly effectiveness 2s. Some of the mercenary... Actually, no, the mercenary hoplites are down to effectiveness 2. Yeah, so they're going to be rolling... They're going to roll like 5s min. And I think we have better attack stats anyway. So, assuming they're on the defense, yeah. I think that's a fight we can win. And to be fair, if it's a fight that we win, that may work in our favor. Because that will make the Persians much more willing to negotiate. I now have access to proper warships. Let's build some of those proper warships. Yeah. So this will take my manpower production to 0. But that's probably fine. If that's giving us a decent navy, which we can use to screen the Grecian coastline from invading Persians. And I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. This will be a fairly large battle, but I think it's a fairly large battle that we'll win. Our unit has got a combat power of 172 versus 126, so there's a little bit of a gamble there, but the fact that we've got attack-focused guys, the Spartan hoplites here have 6 attack, means I think we'll do decent, even this attack situation. And we do have all our effectiveness back? Yeah. One of the guys is short a hit, but I don't think that affects the roll. That affects whether or not they die or not. Okay. We're not at the point where we can do any of our decisions well. No. There we go. We're engaged. They apparently got a... Oh, well, because I think they got a little bit of defense bonus. We got 2 dice rolls. They got 3. That is close fighters, which is probably actually their best unit for this situation. Oh, and they have archers. I forgot about their archers are +2. So they got a little bit better defensive backline. We do have a higher min roll, so that's going to be the risk there. We actually got the better roll, given the higher min roll. We won. tie. There we go. Victory. That'll either chase them back into the fort or into the ocean. Looks like they went into the ocean. Not the fort. Though, if they're in the fort, then they've just screwed the Athenians. Because the Athenians don't have the food supplies to feed them. Yeah, they're not in the fort. They went to, I presume, the ocean. That might be them. Yeah. Surprised that's where it kicked them out, but that works. Okay, merge the two fleets. Apparently I'm getting more manpower than I was expecting. Yeah, apparently I'm getting more manpower than I was expecting. That works for me. Got another slave in Aeroglade. We'll go ahead and put that on. Make some production. Everything's building appropriately. Can't do naval support this turn. We might once the two fleets are merged up. No bolster. Oh, I do have a bolster colony. We'll do a bolster colony then. It'll take 3 turns to kick off, but we can afford that. Long to stay above 600 in 3 turns. Maybe a little bit of exposure to prospecting. We'll probably want to do prospecting at some point. But we'll hold off on that. And then we'll continue the siege. If we take Athens, we'll get 1 more progressing token, and we'll advance to, or be able to advance to tier 3. Buy, sell, or displace. We are going to go with displace. That one's back the entire region to get reason to get back up to 5 money. Don't need the coastal market. Don't really need the archery range here. Can't do the wheelmaker. At some point we'll figure out a way to import the lumber to get that +5 bonus. Once more we have a rebellion. I think in the rebellion situation we're considered the defender, so we'll put a 1-2 in as the defender. So hopefully he'll win the fight. Are they starving yet? No, it's going to take like 9 turns for them to starve. But they may start starving soon. We now have over 100 combat power on the fleet. Do the 1-1. I'm not sure if the siege bonus on the fleet helps with the neighboring siege. So now that we have over 100 combat power on the navy, we can do naval bombardment. Okay, we'll build the harbor. That'll kick off in 2, that'll be 100. That'll kick off in 2, that'll be another 100. Could probably get away with the prospect resources. What would I want to... Where would I want to prospect them most? Our greatest likelihood in the hills is to get stone. I don't really need stone. So we could drop in Sparta anyway. You're still hills. Yeah, you're still hills. If it was plains, I'd be a little more tempted to do it there. Mountains, I'd be more tempted. So I think we will go ahead and do it in Sparta. Most likely we're going to hit stone, which will provide the stone bonus to all the neighbors. Though, to be fair, most likely we're likely hitting nothing. 3 versus 2. We are considered the defender, so we get 3 rolls. So we win against the rebellion. Naval battle, 11 versus 7. And this is actually the Persian army, so watch the Persian army go to the bottom. Goodbye, Persian army. Probably the point where we can start focusing a little bit more on industry. We only have 1 building slot here. We're not doing walls because we're the Sparta. Sparta doesn't build walls. Honestly, given this is the last spot for Sparta right now, I don't want any of those choices. Give me a new roll. Yeah. Prospect. Could do another prospect. What did we hit anything on the last roll? We did. As I said, the most likely hit was stone. We hit stone. It wasn't surprising. In fact, now we're very unlikely to hit anything at all. Because I think stone was like 40% of the chance. We hit it. Now I think it's either gold and silver or it's silver and copper on the list. Because it's there's like 8 choices. I think it's like 80% if you haven't hit in the choices. Stone's the most common at like 40%. For hills, at least. And the other ones are like 10% each. So it's like copper, silver, iron. So at this point, we're probably not going to hit anything on Sparta because we've already hit the most likely hits. Because yeah, that's like, yeah, 50% chance I think we do Sparta again, we miss. Don't get anything. Do we have you? You've got marble. If we do it there, we're most likely hit stone again, which is not ideal. Because it would be stone next to stone. And we might as well swing there. Worst case scenario, we can hit stone. What I'm hoping to hit is like copper or silver. Well, most likely silver. Silver is the one we can't really move around as easily. Siege will last a long time. They're still not really starving yet. Though the bombardment is not trivial. And we will continue the bombardment. Another round of naval support, please. And then we will go ahead and ask Persia once again. Persia, will you give me Athens and Euboea? No. Most likely not. Though it is close enough we can ask, which is saying something. The game won't let you ask if it's too bad, if it's too far off of plausible against the AI. The AI odds there was 0% chance of it accepting, but that could change over the next 2 turns before it makes the decision. Justice system. Do some cases and trials. Okay, some of our stuff finished. We do actually probably want more money coming in. This again is Greece, so we will do a slave market so we can distribute the slaves very easily within Greece. Temple here is not a bad choice. It's not the best choice, but it's an acceptable choice. You specifically are fishing for a particular military building, though you're maybe not in a rush for it, now that you've got some free spots. Right? You're fishing for stables. And arguably I'm nationwide, I'm fishing for stables. If anyone gets a stables, I'm like, build the stables right now. I want some cav. I guess you were under siege? Oh no, you come from the bolster colony. Yes. Which is done. I could do more prospect. Can't federate with them. Did we hit something with a prospect last time? I think we did. We hit copper. Okay. So yeah, I think it's copper silver. I don't think you can get gold on the hills. Which is fine. We're probably close enough to the gold in Macedonia. We can import gold from there if we need gold. So yeah, I think we've basically, in the local area, we've hit the sort of the trifecta. Silver, I think, is going to be the harder one to import, because I forget what you import silver with. Can I see if I go click on a silver province? I think the game tells you. You got the silver. Silver's the neat. Silver mine, which you can't just build everywhere. Jewelry shop. Okay, so we could move around to the jewelry shop. The jewelry shop is tier 3 commerce, which isn't super great. And the main reason you want to move it around is the coin maker and the mint. So I'm not too worried about, because we definitely got silver and, well, we already had copper, but copper's maybe a little harder to move around. Because you have to go furnace copperworks or furnace forge. No, we maybe had the ability to do that, because I think we had forge somewhere, but I think I'm going to stop prospecting for a while. I think we've hit what we need and or want. And we'll hold off until we get some different terrain types we can try to import stuff from. Okay, everything's building there. You're fine. You're fine. Siege is sieging. 3 more turns, and the garrison will begin to starve. And the naval bombardment is probably doing some work. Though for the moment we're out of naval bombards, so we've done what damage we can with the navy. We have a new leader. Good administrator, good military. That's good. Rejected offer, which was expected. Got an Art of the Siege. Go ahead and play that Art of the Siege. We'll go ahead and move you into the Spartan army. I've been worrying for a bit. Everything there is fine. Fine. Got something to build there. Do you have a stables? No. You have a zero slot, so we'll build the zero slot. Basically serve as a free reroll. Well, it's not exactly a free reroll, we're paying for it, but cost-effective reroll. Here we go. Okay, we're going to go across to there. So if we get to a state of peace, we'll definitely go after the neutral territories here in the middle. Okay, I'm probably back off on the money income for the moment. We're happily going to be up in the low thousands. Instead, I can work on trying to grow the economy. Proposal for a transaction, what do you want? You give me manpower, I give you money. Given the circumstances, I'll actually accept that. What do we have? One or more from 15 possible emporiums is now available to her nation. I need an academy for this to play. Okay, I'll have to hold off a bit. Okay, they are out of food. The defenders will begin to starve. 2 unbreached walls, though there is still... Well, 2 unbreached walls is 2 more than I really want. And the garrison is still quite strong. We'll give them the turn of starve, or at least a turn of starving. 1-1 retired from duty. It wasn't that 1-1, so that's fine. We don't want a wall. I want stables, but we're not being offered one. We can import ranches from our own territory, so we don't want to do another ranch. This is just a reroll. The coastal market wouldn't actually be bad. We're getting the bonus from fish, and that's the main bonus there. Sure, we'll do the coastal market. Yeah, we can get another naval support off. Let's do that. That'll really crank home the damage to Athens. Without, well, while starving, they're not going to be able to regenerate, so hammering the naval artillery will do a bunch of damage. And they're actually sallying. At least doing a limited sally. Unless it's a major sally, it's not going to work for them. Quick military battle. Once more, we're gonna free some of the slaves. Siege will last a long time. They got 1 wall left. I think we'll order the assault on the next turn. They haven't yet surrendered by then. They may do a starvation and surrender on the next turn anyway. They haven't, we'll definitely assault. Many wealthy citizens of Athens are being lured to Sparta with promises of honors and titles. Okay. Okay, I think it is also time to start reducing the amount of money we're generating. Because I'd like to get some of the stuff built. Not too worried about, because you're not a province right now, we're not too worried about building you effectively. Let's finish that up. This is actually probably a good place to be making money, so we can not be making it somewhere else. You only need to be, well, 6, so we can take 1 off. Take another one off? No. I'm gonna go down to only net 100. So we can just get a lot more production going. There we go. Try to crank through those buildings a little bit faster. Again, I don't think we're going to prospect anywhere. We got what we want out of the hills. And I'd rather do things like move the stone around by kneading rather than just generating new stone. Once we have Athens, we basically know where we're going to get our iron, silver, copper, stone from. And I don't think we can hit gold in the hills. heavy warships. Okay. It's a good thing we got a decent roll off, otherwise we would have probably been losing some ships. Okay, well, good thing we did enough damage to the garrison, because it's time for the fleet to go scurry away to port to recover. You go find a port to recover in. If the garrison still holds, order the assault. The Athenians at this point are pretty doomed. There's 3 defenders. So other than the fact that the fort in specific has a high siege resist, the fort would basically surrender. At this point, there's basically no garrison. Peace request. I want you to cede those 2 regions to me, so give me Atticus. And give me Eubuna. It is still saying, like, oh, 0%. I think the cost of Atticus is going to go down when we actually own it. And we're probably going to own it by the end of the turn. So we'll propose that. We'll see if that actually goes through. And because we accelerated a bunch of construction, a lot more stuff is proceeding. Stables. In fact, I want that stable so much. Everything on building that quickly, please. Not really worth building the port here. Or building the harbor. We don't have papyrus yet. Armor would be good when we want to really build hoplites, but we probably want the leather to trade for. We don't have yet. Quarry's not worth it. Gymnasium isn't the worst choice. It might help us get more manpower, but I think we'll hold off. Honestly, right now we don't get any choices there, so we're going to reshuffle that one. Well, we don't have any choices that really work in our current situation. Okay, we're going to be kind of fishing to grow a size here, but let's go ahead and build a brickworks so that we have, next time, we have the ability to fish for some buildings. That's some good buildings to fish for. Because then we'll be fishing for regional roads, we'll be fishing for land clearance, we'll be fishing for the Stoa, which isn't a building we've got yet. That shows up, I'll explain to you why that's a really good building. I'm not going to fish for that alone, I want to be fishing for more than one thing at a time if we're fishing for stuff. Lots of open spaces here. Mainly we're fishing for the irrigation canal, I think. Wouldn't be a bad good idea to do granary. Not going to bother with flax or salt or hemp. I might do seed storage if it comes up. Cargo line. I'm going to pass on stud. We can move. We need horses around, and we do have a place we can import the horses from, so we'll pass on that. Sure, we'll do the sanitation. It'll help with the growth later. Similar thing here. We'll do the sanitation because it'll help with growth later. And then we'll move a couple people from production over to money. So we're just making 100 money. I think 100 money is enough income for the moment. Greater Macedonia. 1-1. Okay, that was the fleet general. Take a 1-2. And we're still sending the port either way. Motivate troops. Probably get the freeman law. Okay. Here we go. In goes the storm. 19 versus 3. Basically no walls. Nice quick mop up in Athens. Athens has fallen. Now I just need to go retake my one island, and we'll basically can ignore the remaining Athenian colonies. And so it's going to be negotiating Persia to officially recognize that we have taken that territory. Slave market. Buy, sell, or displace. We're going with displace. Okay, we have one pending. So we'll see if Persia accepts it now that we own the territory. +1 progress. Okay. I'm not allowed to promote. Why am I not allowed to promote? Do I not have 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I need to take my island back to F10. Okay. Take my island back, will be good. Training ground for the military expertise. Garum shop. We have all of our import. We have a fish bonus. We don't have the salt bonus, but we can import, or we can build the salt works later, and that will give us the salt bonus as well. So garum shop's not bad. Yeah, we'll do that. And then here, we're looking for granular irrigation canal. This is neither of them. We're going to re-roll for the moment. Okay. You're still building. You're still building. Okay. And we've got fleet movements. The fleet moving here should screen the motion of the army. And then we should be able to descend on the next place next turn. While the whole time being mostly protected from random Persian navies. So there's a fairly large Athenian army there. Persia did accept my deal. Okay, Persia accepted my deal. I've at last signed a peace treaty, so they agreed to my terms. Tarentum is proposing a trade deal. You want to give me, like, manpower? Because I'd be on board with that. Operation Javanese, okay. And honestly, I haven't been looking at the new provincial recruit. Grecian Javeliers are better than the Helot Javeliers we had before. Helot Shieldbearers. These guys are 4 ranged. These guys are 5 ranged. They have good skirmisher. Extra fatigue reduction of 3 versus normal skirmisher, which is extra reduction of 2. They even get bonuses in attack bonus in rough terrain, though that won't usually come up if I'm doing my cards right. Playing my skills right. So we might be tempted to do that. I'm going to hold off because I think I'm going to try to grab the slingers. Grecian slingers. Is it like 2 turns to get over there? It is 2 turns to get over there. Okay. Send the fleet back around. We'll take that objective, and then we'll take that objective, or we'll take this place, which isn't an objective, but we'll want it anyway. And we now have 10 places. So we make a province there. I thought it was 10 to promote. Why am I not able to promote? I might need to be in the progressing tier. That's... Yeah, I might need to be in progressing tier. It's 10, 5, and progressing tier? Am I in the progressing tier? That's a question. Not in the progressing tier. Let's try to get into the progressing tier and see if that fixes it. That should be fairly easy to do. Convert some of the places that are making money over to making culture instead. Because with the war over, we're much more profitable, so we can reduce our income, rapidly boost the culture production. Irrigation canals, yes please. We're going to clear the religious cult. The answer might be to send the troops in, to be fair. Do the road here for the moment. Okay. Public Works is a tier building, yeah. Sadly, you can't implant trade settlements on places that have fortifications. So I can't drop those islands. I don't really want to drop up there or over there. Okay, so we'll be on that target in 2. Is there any decisions I can interact with? Well, I could turn money into stuff, but usually I want to turn the stuff into money. So we'll not do that. Okay, we're in the progressing tier, so if it's 10, progressing tier, and 5, we should be able to press the button this turn. Do another distribute. Implies that I think I can. Interesting. Is there a different requirement for Sparta? It's been a while since I've tried to tier up as Sparta. I remembered it being 10. I might be wrong, it might be more than 10. Oh, we have 0% chance to receive a progress? No? Should be... We are in the progressing tier, right? I thought that's where we were. Yeah, we should be. I'm confused. We'll leave it for another turn. We'll take the objective. We'll see. Maybe I need to... if we just get another progress token, it will work. Maybe it needs to be more than 10, not just 10. That would make sense if that was the problem. Sure. Take the guard tower there. This is now a state. Emily. Sure. Move 2016 to larger. In theory, this now has 2% chance per turn to be removed. We have the stables. If the army was there, it would be a 20% chance, but 2% is a good start. We might use the army to get rid of this one, because we'll be over there. Same with the slavers. Rebels. Shouldn't be a problem because we're just a large enough group. Even though I forgot to assign a general to it, but yeah. I'm in the progressing tier. We obviously can't get a token. Siege should be quick. The Athenian army is here. Just assault before the Athenian takes it. I think, because these, to be fair, these aren't, well, there are some Citizen Hall, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop us from storming the place, so I'm not going to give the Athenians time to take it under their nose. Road, as tempting as it is to take Clearwater. Road. Public Works, which is the type of road. We could do gym. We are kind of looking for 3 more, various reasons, looking for 3 more health buildings here. Though one of them I want to be the Salt Works, or Salt House. I want the Physician House for reasons. Probably the Aqueduct is the 3rd one. I'm not that desperate for manpower, which is why we do Gymnasium. Yeah, so we'll just do reroll here. Don't have any options I want. Want to keep at least... want to keep my options open. We got space for 2, so I could technically take something that isn't optimal, but then I'd be taking something that isn't optimal necessarily. Got no... only got 1 slot here, so there is an argument maybe to be picky. There's a tier 2 infrastructure building I want. Granted, the tier 2 infrastructure building I want is Public Works and land clearing. Probably still makes sense to do the brickworks, because then the moment I get the next open slot, we can be re-rolling for multiple buildings in particular. Okay. Disgruntled Spartan general of poor skill has accepted a lucrative offer to become chief military advisor to one of the Persian straps. I think that's 26 legacy for... yeah, so we lost legacy. Persia, I think, gained some. It was kind of implying that we gained the 26, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case. I think it was we lost it. Okay, we took it by storm. Or it surrendered to us, one of the two. The Athenians went running to the other one. Okay, I'm gonna have to go storm the other one as well. Buy, sell, displace slaves. We want to displace them. Again, not able to promote up. What do I know? I know they're not, the people we're playing as, not locked to tier 2. It just must be a higher territory count than I'm thinking. I thought it was 10, but it must be higher than 10. Order an assault. So as long as the Athenians don't take it, I don't think the Athenians will, we can just storm the place and it'll work that way. Give me an anchorage, so we can get better on-off island. Can. You've got 1 open slot, so we're at the point where we probably do want to be picky. So one of the things we'd be wanting is the Stoa. If I end up pulling it, I'll explain why that's a thing we want. One of the things we want, because we're Greek, is we want to get up to tier 3 health and have a hospital, because that unlocks a build anywhere specific Greek health building. At which point we went to the hospital, but that's far down the line. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build this whole house, working towards that tier 3 health building. Could do the farm. It's a decent farm. Or I could be fishing for health buildings Stoa. Yeah, let's fish for health buildings Stoa, or the Wheelmaker. So that's a shuffle. There's a Wheelmaker. Would be better with papyrus. We'll soon be able to import papyrus. Do have a blacksmith someplace else. We are going to want tools, but for various reasons, I only need one tool maker for that. So we have a blacksmith. I'd rather upgrade the existing blacksmith. Don't see a blacksmith. If I don't see one, that means that's going to be the blacksmith choice. Okay, you're going to be my blacksmith. And then we'll try to fish for the toolmaker on the next tier. Okay, by the magic of storming, we can get there for the Athenians. We got a higher base for higher base roll. We got a higher min roll. Oof, that's what we get for storming and then walled settlement. We did lose a Spartan hoplite. Wealthy enough, they're kind of replaceable. We got the whole Iron Crete there. Okay, Lydia completely collapsed, so we can go run over to Crete. Or run over to Rhodes and get 3 that we need to make that province that way. Isn't a, well, that is a walled settlement. Okay, so we just need to run over there. The Temple of Artemis. Yeah, that's the one we're seeing there. And then, yeah, build the anchorage. Yes, I understand it's going to take forever to build, but build the anchorage. Okay, here. Could do the harbor, but then we're going to lose a slot. Granted, I've got the slot to fill, I suppose. We don't really need the food. The farm wouldn't be too bad. It's probably not the cult site building I want. Given the circumstances, I probably want the other one. Yeah, we're going to do a reroll here. Because I'm being picky. I'm in a point in the game where I can be picky, so I'm going to be picky. Mealmaker isn't too bad. Not necessarily what we're looking for. We actually are really looking for, like, road or the public works or the land expansion here. So yeah, I should reroll until I get the public works and land expansion or one of the other 0 slots. Okay, irrigation channel will be 3 turns. That's fine. Could probably back off a little bit on the culture, but keep going for a bit. Do you have a good place to put bolster colony down? No. I can do an implant trade settlement. We'll try to grab that one. The Persians are a little more likely to grab that one, I think. The one here with the pirate slayers, maybe something a little bit easier for the army to grab. We'll probably try to grab that one in the army after we finish with the roads. Let's send the Spartan fleet over to give us some supply improvements. And we did lose 1 Spartan hoplite, so let's replace it. If I had another implant trade, I'd do both. But we'll have to wait a bit. Now, what's the terrain on the island down here? Hills. Might do the forest. I'm likely to hit wood on the forest, to be fair. It is a forest after all, so we tend to hit in wood. Hit in the forest is wood. It's wood everywhere. It's kind of what a forest is. Okay. Still in the progressing tier. Kind of where we want to stay until we at least progress to empire size. Tarentum is asking for an alliance. I thought we had one already. Definitely accepted. We don't. Egypt, you want a transaction? You give me metal, I give you some Javeliers. I will accept because I do want you to resist the Persians more. Oh, those converted to other Greek countries. Okay, How much do you like me? You don't. That's fair. I do want your territory, so we're declaring on you. Let there be one. Grab that. 14 or 17 culture is not bad. And a 0 slot. We're going to reroll here. I'm looking for a very particular type of building, because we do want to get up a regional road. And obviously there's a building that would give us an extra building slot, which we should grab. If we can. Okay. Those are working on their ports. So in and out worked a little bit, that could work a little bit better. Needless to say, you are failed, so we'll just call you back. Formed by a non-formed nation. Well, that nation formed, so it wasn't going to work. Yeah. In this case, we might be able to do some diplomacy with you. Send you a... You do a cooperation agreement with me? 7%. One a little bit better than 7% odds. I do have some money, so let's send a gift. And then they are Hellenic, I believe. Yeah. So let's send a Pan-Hellenic Games their way. Alright, it's going to be a multiple turn move, but we'll try to get those guys merged up. Irrigation canals. Okay. Looking at the time, this is probably a good place to put a part break in. This will be also where we end up the stream. So we have, at least for a couple turns there, we did technically get to a state of peace. I'm going to open up a couple wars with some really small Greek miners here. I suppose technically, let's actually about face. We're not going to declare one of you. We're going to send you a gift. Instead, I'm going to declare war on you, Argos. Argos also kind of doesn't like us, so it makes sense to invade them. And then I don't think they even really have an army, so we'll just quickly jump them. What we'll try to do is we'll try to get an agreement with these Greeks, the little minor Greeks, to help to shore up the position against just all of it falling to Anatolia, to Persia. Persia's obviously tied up in a war over there, and I think they're tied up in a war up here, because I think they're at war with Scythia. Yeah, let's, because I need one more, so it's either Argos, which already hates us, or Creta, who has no opinion one way or the other. So let's try to get the people who don't hate us to like us, and make the people that hate us dead. Sounds like a plan. Here we're looking for the public works or the land expansion. Here we're building. We just got stuff to build. Building docks here. At some point I might actually just drop the army and leave the army there for an extended period of time to clear things like the bandits. Might not go to war for a bit. Because I think the next major war has to either be Macedonia or Persia. Yeah. But this is where we're going to end the stream. So if you're watching on YouTube, there probably will be a part up tomorrow, because I've just recorded 4 parts. Assuming I give myself a 2-day gap, so I release the first one 2 days from when I'm recording it. That will give me a 2-day buffer to record the next part. If you're watching this on YouTube live, that should have meant that the previous part was recorded 2 days ago. Obviously, if you're watching on Twitch, this is where the stream is going to end. So the next stream of this will be in 4 days, where we continue to try to grow and figure out why I'm not able to get to tier 3. I suspect I just need more provinces, or need more territories. It probably was something like it's 15 or 20, not 10. For the jump. And I can probably look at that online. I thought it was 10, it just apparently is more. Or maybe it's 10 objectives. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've tried to promote to tier 3 and not had the requirements met to do it. But yeah, we want to go to a glorious young, or we want to go to a young Spartan Empire. And in theory, we've met the conditions. We just haven't done it yet. Quickly looking at the thing in here. Don't think it's going to really tell me. Within each level, 5 government forms. Yeah. It's not telling me the cutoff for hitting level 3, tier 3. Yep, not seeing... Not on the help panel, at least. I'll have to look it up online. Between parts. As far as legacy goes, we up to 3,485, which is maybe not that great of a success because we started with 2,500. So we've only gained about 548. On the other hand, that is keeping the score leader. Egypt technically starts with 7,500. They've actually declined. They've lost about 250. I think probably for emergency levies. That's probably why they're down. We are precluding Egypt from winning right now because we're within a third of their score. We're closing on a half, but we're within a third of their score. That also kind of makes them the big boss that we need to defeat to win. And then we're in second. Athens started with the same amount that we did. We've actually driven them down a bit. Persia's been shooting up. This is the Rise of Persia DLC scenario. So Persia shooting off to the races is maybe not surprising. Persia's not scoring enough necessarily to win versus us for the same sort of reasons Egypt is. And I think they got most of their quests done at this point. They are at war with Egypt. We kind of don't want them to win against Egypt. We want them to kind of be in an extended stalemate with Egypt. But yeah, so with everything I've checked over, I think this is where we're going to go ahead and put the part break in and end the stream. Watching YouTube, there'll be a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, next stream's in 4 days. Tomorrow's stream will be Shonen Empire. Day after that will be Grand Tactician, the Civil War. We'll see if we finish Grand Tactician, the Civil War. The day after that will be the Long Dark. The day after that will be the return to this. And somewhere in there, if I have free time, we'll finish at Victoria 3. Just recorded 2 parts to that earlier today. It's running a little slow, which is why it's taking so long to complete the run. I think we probably have 2 parts left. So we'll probably finish it up in the next pop-up stream. And then if we have more pop-up streams, they'll probably be Terraformers. I want to try doing a few of the other scenarios on max difficulty. And recording the first attempt on this for each scenario on max difficulty, I think is stream-worthy. But those will be pop-up streams, they won't be really planned. So until the next stream, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next one, and bye for now.